I switched.
Just like a normal day.
We're live.
We're live.
Oh, nice.
We're
Hi,
over
everybody.
on the YouTubes now. Audio listeners are like, well, this is nothing.
This is
This
normal.
has changed nothing for me. And I'm experiencing the exact same thing as before. Is your mic not good now? You've decided now.
I don't
is the-
know.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm moving it around.
Now that we're live, it's time to move
Yeah,
the mics
now
and
it's time to
change
get
the setup.
comfortable.
I can
Well,
unplug something.
I need.
Thanks.
If I'm sitting in this chair.
Oh yeah, you
gotta
do
lean
that.
back.
Yeah, there we go.
That's perfect, and you're out of frame too.
Perfect.
That's exactly what we need
Perfect.
right here. And now we need Dave to say the headphones need to be adjusted.
Can you leave them where they are?
Damn it.
Move them up and down.
Because you're nailing
I mean,
it.
you can just adjust mine a little bit if you want to. Yeah, such a great film.
Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen,
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam.
and we're joined by a very special guest.
Ben, Easley.
Hi, Ben.
I mean, Jackson.
Wait, hold on. Wait. New Jackson.
New Jackson.
What's your name?
Ben Easley. Thank you. Thank you very much. So great to be here. Please hold your.
It's too long,
Yeah,
right?
it's way too
That's
long.
the best reaction to that I've seen yet.
That's true. Yeah. Most
I
people
wish
don't
we
know
had
what to
kinda
cue
do.
rolled with
cards that said like "hold for applause."
I'll work on cue cards
Okay,
for
that'd be
the next
great.
guest.
Just hang
We
it
get a
here.
sign says applause.
I have the third monitor that doesn't have anything right now on it, so I can
That's
just have
the
the
cue
a good
card
point.
monitor.
cue card
Nice,
monitor. Yeah.
nice.
yeah.
Well, we can't hire writers right now because the writers strike. So. Look at us.
Man, another
what
great
kicked
show.
that off?
Lots of things. It's complicated. But
okay.
studios don't want to pay writers for writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what the hell do they do anyway?
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you
They
ever
hang
met a
around
writer
and
that
they talk
does
about
anything?
things?
Come on. God.
And Marvel's like, we'll just keep going anyway.
Yeah, all of Disney is like, we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Wild.
But
stuff.
how will we survive without lines like "That's not my boot"? Like, man, this is going to be awful.
What are we gonna do? Well, welcome, Ben. It's good to have you on.
It's good to be here.
You know, it's
This
so
is fun.
It's already fun.
Yeah.
So we have
That's pretty good,
way.
then.
We could easily just
Oh,
go
way
down.
downhill.
You
Yeah.
peaked way too high before the show even
Shit.
started.
Yeah, you walked in the door, we got hugs, and now we're like, oh, let's go way down.
Now it gets worse.
You know, asking you to come be on the show, you jogged a memory because I honestly forgot that we did our live show
Yeah.
At the Monk.
That's right. At
Yes.
the what was it?
We
the
interviewed-
patio fundraiser. I forgot what it was
I
called.
think it was the patio
yeah,
fundraiser.
the fundraiser.
That went
We-
well.
we
right?
interviewed
yeah,
Hen- Hen
the
and the
patio was
Cox.
nice.
Yeah.
We got what was it? 2,000 of the $12,000 to build a patio.
And still won best patio.
That's fair.
For those of you who don't know, Ben owns and runs the Bearded Monk,
There
which
we
is
go.
a great craft brew
I'm always tagged.
beer store.
Thank you.
Could you say craft brew? But you have wine.
Yeah, wine, seltzer, mead,
Yeah.
cider, but all small batch
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Little-
delicious.
Little independent brewers.
And the patio we're talking about is not a patio.
It's an alley.
It's an alley.
It's a beer alley.
And you won best alley or best alley.
Yeah, you know, if
It's like Lucky Lou's and Bearded Monk.
yeah,
Best alleys in town.
yeah, you don't really want to be in that running.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you lose right away to Beer
Ooh,
Alley.
oh,
Beer Alley
well,
wins
yeah.
every time.
Yes,
And then other
yeah.
alleys are like, we're just a normal alley.
Yeah. People do drugs in that alley.
If only they'd get out and vote, and then it would happen. Well, we're actually up. Best of Denton is happening again.
Voted.
Yeah, sweet, nice.
Nice. I haven't voted yet.
That's okay. Voting hasn't actually opened. It's just nominations.
Yeah. Well, nominated.
Oh, you
Yeah.
nominated?
Now you
Perfect.
roll it back.
I didn't like that it had suggestions, like already nominated people, or is it
Yeah,
like
that feels a
already
little
most
weird.
nominated?
I think those are the people that paid, like the ones that have
I hate
images.
that.
Yeah. The way that
You want to get up there and
Yeah.
show that you're something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of emulating real elections.
Money talks.
Yeah.
I did.
Nice.
I did see a music award show that had like you could write in your nominations for like best people, and it only had like best male singer, best female singer, best like cover band singer, best like I was like, where's the other people? Where's anything except for a singer? This
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Like, this is so strange.
As a drummer, you sound real bitter right now.
Thanks for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate you being here. It's been super fun.
Well, let's be honest. Drummers and bass players, you sit at the back of the stage for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's looking at
100%.
you. Nobody wants to look at you.
In Moniker, I've been
Except for me.
pushing more towards the front of the stage now. And like the first couple of shows, I was like, I don't like this at all.
Feels
really?
uncomfortable.
No, it feels weird. I'm so used to people in front of me and like
Well, yeah, and like and in
standing
Moniker,
right next to him.
in
Yeah,
Moniker
yeah, yeah.
also like I like because we're a trio, I'm center and there's
Yeah.
no one in front of me most of the time, and that feels weird most of the time as well. Even though I'm in the back, I'm still the
still the
center.
focus
Yeah,
of the attention.
you're still
Yeah.
the focus. It
Yeah.
all funnels back to you.
And
Yeah.
on the road when we play smaller stages, it's just 3 of us in a row.
Yeah,
And that's fucking weird.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which we actually tried that stage plot before you joined the band, where like we were all facing each other, kind of thing.
Like in a circle.
Yeah, kind of.
That's a little weird.
It was fun, but like sound wise, it sucked.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the ass for every sound person and all that kind of stuff. So
Because they're
There's
just
a
like,
reason
please
bands
do
set up-
something normal.
yeah, yeah.
Well, and there's a reason bands set up certain ways.
Right, exactly, yeah. Which brings us, I think, into a really great point. So, so the Bearded Monk is not just a craft beer place.
It's not just a
also-
shop. It's
not-
also a bar and
and a venue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think what we were up against Midway Craft House for the Dam Awards
Yeah, yeah.
years ago, and they put us in anti-venue.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
All right, that works.
Or like, I would say
have,
DIY venue.
Okay,
non-
yeah.
I think that's what that
non-traditional.
award meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
non-traditional.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
there isn't a stage. There isn't a lighting setup out there all the time. There isn't those big stacks that Randy brings aren't there all the time. That's just for the show.
Well, yeah.
For
So
the badasses that show up and play out there.
so as a non-traditional venue, there are there's a lot of struggles that go along with having any music or any venue, right? But as a non-traditional venue, like you said, you don't have all the stuff. So like, what's the process for you guys whenever it comes down to let's have a show? Like, what do you have to do? What do you have to get prepared?
Holy Lord.
Wait,
Well,
sorry. Before that, when you had the idea to open the Bearded Monk, did you know you wanted to have live music?
Not necessarily, because it's a tight space inside. Well,
Yeah.
and shit, both of y'all have played
But yeah.
inside
Didn't
when that
many,
place
many
is
times.
packed.
Didn't
Yeah.
Moniker play the first like live show that was inside? It was one of the first. And I remember I think we still have it in our merch. We brought the roof down. A piece of the roof fell off while we were playing.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the early shows. I think Fritz Schwamm's band was the first one
Okay.
because we were doing Stout and Shout and we had no plan for music. And he was like, "I've got a couple of band buddies that we just want to play a show. Can we play in here?" Like, yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. Okay,
Well, it's the
sure.
shout.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. So that's where that started. But yeah. Moniker was real quick after that.
Yeah. So what
Or
was like
was it Moniker or was it Kites?
It was Moniker because we played with Brave Little Howl, and it was early on in the monk being open.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was one of Brave Little Howl's first shows ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's why they still come back and pity us every once in a while and play a show.
So what was like the that's a great question. What was like the kind of like the impetus to deciding to do live music? Was it just hanging out with friends and them saying, "Hey, let's do something," or did you always think you wanted to do?
All musicians are cockroaches and are like, "There's a new venue open. Let's go."
There's a new place that's not a venue, but I can play there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think what really did it, Matt was adding venues for Octopia. And that's when we saw like, oh my gosh, okay, we can really put on some acts in here, right? And right after that Octopia, so I worked with Danielle Longaville, and she was introducing me to bands, and we were all talking about stuff. And after that, I think it was The Observer that did an article because Rubber Gloves was closing down, J&J's was closing the basement, and it was this big article about how Octopia was like the kick in the ass Denton needed to keep music going, to keep that. I wouldn't say it's an underground scene, but we're still fairly unknown up here,
Right.
right? But to keep that interest alive in music. And I went back to Danielle and I was like, look, if music is about to go into the dark ages here, can you help me book more acts? Can you work with me? And her and Robert Thurston was booking for LSA like real early on. He's like, yeah, man, I'll send some folks your way. We'll do it. And then Midway Craft House opened, and Raheem was all in it. So we basically, the Monk and Midway Craft House like propped up a
Yeah.
little bit, like in between the house show scenes and like Dan's Harvest House. Yeah. So
I don't know what the house show scene is like now, but at that
because
time,
you're old.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember the last time we played a house show, but I was definitely like, I'm old as fuck.
I think the last time that y'all mentioned you were going to play a house show, I was like, I want to go, but I'm also old. And I can't
exactly.
now.
I gotta take my pills and get in bed.
But at that time, there were a lot of house shows going on. So it was kind of like you play a house show, then you play at the Monk or Midway, and then you work your way up to like Dan Silverleaf or Harvest House.
Yeah.
And it's like such a great middle area to do that.
That makes me happy.
Well-
that makes me really happy to hear that.
Yeah, seriously.
And I think one of the cool things, like you say Denton's not necessarily underground, but not necessarily like the most known scene. People know it as like it's a music town, but there's only a handful of bands people can really like shout out, or a handful of venues people can like shout out as like, this is a place I know from Denton, right? But I think that one of the things about playing in the Monk and being a part of that experience was being a part of a place that actually gave a shit. And I think that like a lot of venues you play, not necessarily in Denton or just ever, but a lot of venues don't always show that they care about the bands the most, right? We
Like, are you about to give examples and now I'm just interrupting you?
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, like, and this isn't like necessarily like a jab at the venue, as you know, you guys don't have like necessarily, or at least at one point didn't have a sound system that was like yours, right? But like we played a space in Louisiana that didn't tell us till the day of that they didn't have a PA, and we're out of town.
Not
So-
only did they not have one, but that they were like, we just aren't going to do that.
yeah,
Like
it's
that
not-
was that
it's
was
not
the
their
air. They
problem.
weren't being rude, but they were just like, we don't do that.
yeah. So it's on the bands to bring up their own sound system, which is something you communicate generally like earlier, right? Yeah. So it wasn't a thing where we were like, I wasn't like necessarily like pissed at them. It was just like, I'm seeing a lack of caring for the artists here, right? And we've played spaces where we've had to do a lot of things that necessarily weren't always like previously asked or expected of us to make shows happen, and then the venue seems to just also not really give a shit about you. Whereas, and it's not always like super negative. It's just kind of like slight stuff, you know. It's like the venue is doing us a service instead of us playing at the venue, which is a very like realistic idea of like, you know, capitalism, right?
Yeah. Well, and if they if they're bringing people in, these people are going to be here whether you're playing or not. Whether it's you or Jimmy
Yeah.
Joe down the street, you're welcome.
Right, exactly. And so that brings up like a whole nother side of issues. But the playing at the Monk and being a part of this community, of the beer alley community, has always felt like you guys have cared about artists in a way that is really fresh. And especially for being a non-traditional space and for kind of doing this last minute, it is really impressive to see. Is there something that maybe made you want to like give more like attention or care to artists, or is that just because you're an amazingly nice person?
Wow. Well, first off, I'll send you that check for sucking up. That was really that was awesome. That two things I saw before I opened the Monk: friends and bands that were having to drive to Fort Worth, drive to Dallas for shows. Why does that have to be the thing? Like, we've got enough music lovers in this town that we should be supporting our artists. So that rewind, jabbering, edit that out. The two overarching goals were grow craft beer, grow recognition for the arts. When I realized that we could have music, then great. That's just another form of art we can support. You know, that's just like the visual art that's on the gallery walls, right?
Right.
That's hiring the artists to do the banners and the posters for our big parties. Hiring the photographer and giving them a shout out when you post all the pictures from an event. That's just another form of supporting the arts in this town, because that's what this town is.
Yeah.
And supporting local.
Well-
You're a huge proponent for that, right?
Yeah. Sorry, but I don't necessarily support just local artist-wise, though, right? We've got bands that call us that are driving through from L.A. or Seattle, or that we'll put them on. But yeah, I'm more invested in the local. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well-
I'm gonna have to look y'all in the eyes at the next show. I'm gonna be sitting drinking a beer next to you. So,
Well, like the the support local is really huge, but then also supporting touring acts is really huge as well. I mean, like as a small act that hits the road, having a space. Imagine if we were on the road and we played the Monk, and be like, wow,
Be great.
yeah,
Be like, these guys are so nice. They're glad we're here.
yeah.
They only
Some
put a little
venues
bit
are
of
not.
sugar in our gas tank.
Parking sucked.
Oh, yeah. Number one.
No, I've got a trick.
Oh yeah, the post office.
Post office. Yeah, post office.
I don't know why that's a secret. There's a big ass post office parking lot.
Yeah,
across
but
the
it always feels like I shouldn't
not-
be able to park
Yeah.
there.
It's always after
I know that you
hours.
can, but it feels like I shouldn't.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
took me a long time to be like, am I okay to leave this here? And
Yeah.
now I'm just like, this is my first stop. It's a busy night on the square. My
Yeah.
first stop is
Yep,
the post
there's
office.
always a spot.
Yeah. So, talking about getting into booking, was there any sort of like music that you were aiming to, or like image you were trying to have of bands, or was it just like, let's just have everybody come through?
Yeah, I think just
Yeah.
everybody. And really, it's been a lot of everybody coming to us,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is so damn helpful. And, I be at a show and somebody will get done with their set, come over and go, hey, I've got this date open. Can we talk? Like, yeah, sure. Hit me up on Facebook, email me.
Yeah.
So it's been all organic.
That's great.
Yeah. I hope that's good.
Tell us about the first time that if you remember, like getting a message from somebody from LA. I mean, like, hey, can I play at your venue? Were you like, what the fuck?
No, I realized that I had made it onto like one of those tour booking sites.
Right.
Like some
Yeah.
band had played and they said, hey, let's just stick them on there.
Like,
that
this
was
was cool,
fun.
yeah.
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 I was really confused. I can't get a grasp on who a band is. You can get their genre, but who they are, how they react to a crowd, what kind of crowds they bring in. That's really hard to do over an email, especially when it's, hey, my band's awesome, and we think we would be perfect for your venue and or restaurant or brewery. Like,
And they haven't even edited out which one it is. It just says all three.
And then I've got to go dig, and there's nothing else. I feel like bands have gotten better now, or the bands that are contacting us have gotten better about a little press junket, at least social media with some videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, that first one, I don't even remember who it was, but that was like, oh shit, now I got to do the legwork and go find, oh, your Instagram is your drummer's name, and your Facebook is the band's name with an asterisk in it. Okay, all right. Oh, and on YouTube, your grandma posted them up. Okay. So that was kind of tough.
Yeah, so that's that's kind of like the thing with struggling for booking. Like you might not have an idea of like you might be open to everything, but then you have to like kind of comb through whatever is sent at you and go, okay, can I make this work? Is this worth it?
Yeah, and never being a music venue, I don't know what stats I'm looking at. Right, I don't know. Oh, okay. I can estimate this many people are going to come see this band that has no draw in this town.
Look at me.
Like,
Look at me. Look at me.
what?
It's all fake.
Yeah, I was about to say that the potential draw that any of these bands have is none.
So
It's probably the most they've ever had at a show. They say
Because they're
that's their
probably
draw.
out of they're probably out of
Okay.
town, and they're
yeah.
I would assume going to a quote unquote not real venue, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking to play somewhere where like that'll just have them. I would imagine.
So like
Because
when-
we had that with house show stuff where a band
Yeah.
would email us and I'm like, you're big enough that you should just play a real venue, but you want to play in my living room? All right. I mean,
Yeah.
you can, but maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like,
so like the
I know there's something more personal about that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, there
playing
is.
a house show,
Yeah.
there's more magic in that to me.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I understand that. And if they knew enough about the Monk, they would know that's similar kind of crowd of like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
an intimate like space and everything. People
Yeah.
want to see you when you're there. But
Yeah.
the thing about like the numbers is there's a tricky thing where like, so there's a lot of like people who blow up on TikTok, for example, who then have like really high like Spotify streaming numbers and maybe have a large number of like TikTok likes or Instagram likes or followers or whatever, and those people will promote a show and then you can see videos from some of those shows and it's just like their friends.
Yeah.
It's like,
Didn't you mention there was somebody who was like booking a whole tour and there was like a very real possibility nobody would show up to their
yeah,
shows?
yeah. This
Oh,
is
dang.
it's
Well, because it's what, regional or
It's just people listening to it
Yeah,
when it
it's-
was popular, and then it doesn't translate to an actual fan base.
Especially because like things that blow up on the internet are largely like the chorus of a song, right? So like on TikTok, you can like really push like just like the chorus, and then people will click it, they'll listen to that one song, and that's it. And you can like kind of look, you can see like where, you know, oh, more people in Texas are listening, so I'm gonna go hit up Texas. But that doesn't mean that you're gonna like. It doesn't mean you shouldn't. It doesn't mean the artist shouldn't do that to like go try to play there. But it doesn't always indicate because you had one song blow up or two songs, or you know, like you have like these sorts of, because some people follow bands on Instagram not because their music but because their content is just good. And so you have like a tricky thing where like it's hard for bookers because like you said, like what are these numbers even, you've never been here before. So how do I take these numbers and actually do something with it?
And some of these bands that have these massive followings have never played a show.
Yeah, that too.
Because they've created music, say, as an example, like during the pandemic, they start making music, something they have blows up on TikTok. They've never played a show, yet they're about to book a huge tour.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I've seen instances of it where my wife watches this family, like an influencer family or whatever, and the lady's name is Lo Beeston, and she booked her first show and it sold out. And she was terrified because she was like, "Oh, I've never done this.
Yeah.
This is fucking terrifying."
Yeah. And that I
now I've got to come up with 2 hours of content. Shit.
Yeah, I actually have seen that a lot with there's like a lot of streamers who decide to make music, and they'll play a show in LA and everyone is trying to get in. And so it's like it's a very real thing on some side, and then there's the flip side where it's like these people who are like very green to every side of the whole process and don't know it, and they won't draw when they come to play the Monk, you know, like
right. I mean, they may not know that either. They might think they will because in Texas we have 500 listeners or
right.
whatever.
Yeah. It's a really tough. It's a tough
and
game.
All 500 of them in Austin are loving the video of you walking in.
Yep.
It's a really tough game to play on both sides, but I imagine as someone who's booking shows, you see that, and like you said, it's just like I don't know what to make of these numbers. These numbers can mean so many different things. They could mean that this band could draw, but also maybe not. Yeah. And there's nothing else for you to work off of is the problem. The only thing for you to work off of outside of that is if they had like an EPK and you could see some live video and go, well, at least this band is a good live band.
They're putting on a good show.
And then you can promote and say, hey, this great band is coming through the Monk.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
So what's a pitch that someone could send you, an email or whatever? Probably email is best. Yeah. What's an email somebody could send you that's a quick yes? What do you look for?
See, when you own any kind of business, you are constantly sold to. So hire me for your insurance agent. Don't you want linen service? The one that I love is, hey, you need to try this beer. I really love that one.
I've got something for you. Actually, you should try.
Oh, hey, perfect. Sell me that all day long. Ooh, okay. It's just some mashed potatoes with some sugar. Yeah.
This one's not far off.
It's easier for me to meet a new band that already knows who we are. One of the reasons I love, again, the local bands, y'all hang out at the Monk. So there's no, when somebody pulls in the wrong way of the driveway, coming head to head with a car, leaving one of the neighbors, they're sitting there like, oh yeah, champ, it's your first time here. That's an exit. That's that. Or a band that shows up and they want whiskey. Like, ooh, okay, so we can't have whiskey. We're in Texas.
Right. It's nice that you want that.
Yeah, I am so with you on this, but we can't do it here.
Yeah.
So when I've gotten emails from bands that know who we are, they've had a friend play, they've been to the Monk, they've had a friend play and drink at the Monk. I don't know, but they're already
like they know what
they
they're
have
getting
intimate
into.
knowledge. Yeah. And they actually care to be there. It's not just, I'm going to be in this area and I'm going to spam this list.
Right. Yeah.
Like they actually chose us. That's higher up on the list.
Yeah.
Those that had mentioned somebody that's played there, they mentioned the time they've been there, or even if like Martha Machabert, I think I'm saying her last name right. Awesome singer-songwriter. She wanted to do her album release. she hadn't been there before, but she had been following us. So she was like, I love the vibe that y'all are creating. I love your team. And I've never met y'all. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I went and looked at her music, and I was like, she's a badass. Yeah, this has got to happen.
That's a big yes. So you've mentioned some of them, like people just not knowing about, but what would you say is the number one red flag when someone emails you?
Oh, the spam content. You know,
I would like to play at your brewery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so you already don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
So that makes.
I've heard great things about Austin. Like
that's tough. Hearing this information is really hard, also because this is how most bands
unfortunately
have
it's
to book.
Yeah.
It sucks. Well, but my thought is, I imagine as a smaller, non-traditional space, it you know, seeing that someone cares makes a much bigger difference, because you don't have to put on a show every weekend. That's like that's not something that you have to do. Whereas, like, you know, if I'm booking an out of town show and I'm like, okay, I'm going to these cities.
I've never been to X city.
Yeah, time to send emails, and that's why, like you said, having like that press kit, like having some kind of EPK of some kind can really make a big difference, because you can just see like if you got that press kit, like a good press kit in like a spam email, or like just like a, you know, a well-written email, but it was still obviously going to every venue in Denton.
Yeah.
It still helps, because it's like, okay, whatever, I get the email, but let me see the band.
Yeah.
Right.
I can at least get an idea of the vibe.
Yeah.
I can see what they're posting online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to go back to what I first asked, which is, tell me the process of putting on a show in a non-traditional space.
Usually we're sitting around drinking. So that's step number one.
Hey, that's the process of booking shows.
Hey, that's the process of playing shows.
Exactly. This is perfect. All the way through and through. Yes. Most of them have been these moments sitting around somewhere, and somebody goes, oh, shit, you know, it'd be really fun to play over there for X, Y, and Z reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it usually starts.
So then what are the steps? Since there's not a stage, since there's not necessarily always a sound system, what are the steps you have to take?
Number one is calling Randy Lincoln.
Okay.
Yeah. that's like the first call. Hey, man, are you free on this date? Okay, cool. All right. Now we're on. Now we got it.
Right.
Yeah. That's about it.
Nice.
That's really all you need.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, find an artist, you know, if the band wants to do artwork, or find an artist to do the artwork, write up the event, and then start promoting.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the reason I say Randy Lincoln, absolutely, because Randy knows that space. He knows what it sounds like. He shows up and just starts setting up, and he knows everything to do and knows that's his home, right?
And you're talking about like both spaces, the alley and
the interior.
and indoors. Yeah. Yeah. Because you guys have the outdoor where they can play, like bands can play in the alleyway. And then if it's, I guess, bad weather, then you go indoors?
Then we go indoors.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That indoors is loud.
Very loud. Very.
It's a lot of wood and hard surfaces. I like the outdoor better. And it also brings in the alleyway, if you haven't been there, between Bearded Monk and Denton County Brewing.
Yeah.
It opens that up and turns it into this larger venue.
Yeah.
And that's so much fun.
it really confuses people who've not been to Denton, and they're like, oh, these are like just two bars at the same venue. And you're like, well, no, don't take your beer over there. That's going to be...
No, you can't.
Well,
that's
you
what
can
makes
now,
it cool.
but used to be.
Because everybody's cool as hell. Just take your
and
beers
you'll
back
see
and forth.
bartenders from both places at both places.
Yeah. Oh, running over, getting glasses, getting a beer, running back over with the glasses,
Throwing
drinking
water
a beer.
balloons.
Snowballs.
Yeah. Pillow fights.
Well, the questionable,
fights.
the questionable, like, bring the beer over. I think that even though you can, I see so many people like,
cautious about it. Yeah.
where do I go?
Yeah.
Can I walk over there now?
Oh, you could ask the bands to mention that. Hey, if you're here,
Go back and
forth.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah.
That's my one for the day.
I like it. I like it.
Do you have one bad idea?
One good idea. Yeah. One not bad idea. Tons of bad ideas.
The whole day is bad ideas.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Oh,
Hey, man.
That's adorable.
That's why these exist.
nice.
Well,
Okay.
no canceling yet. We're good. We haven't had to cancel anybody yet.
I guess I still didn't get a full explanation of that. Can we explain it on the show?
Yeah, I mean the general gist is that if one person says something that anyone else deems to be a cancelable offense, which could be any number of things. It's broad. It could be speaking in an accent. It could be saying something you shouldn't have said. It could, which could mean like it could mean a lot of different things, right?
And then what are the consequences of this?
You just get a
You
cancel
get a
buck.
cancel buck.
Is there like a Chuck E. Cheese prize booth out there that I can go redeem them for
not
like
a
a pencil
reward.
topper?
It's a bad
It's
thing.
a negative
Slap on the
reward.
wrist.
Yeah.
Okay.
When my brother was on, he got like 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He just got off a plane from Germany, to be
Yeah,
fair.
that's fair.
I got a goal to work for today. All right.
You're running behind.
Oh, okay. Trump was the real president.
That's
Okay.
like 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll give you
That was a
Caught up
gimme.
now.
I'll give you 2 for that one.
Oh, sweet. All right.
You would have got more if you said he is still, but
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's too
All
late
right.
now. No,
Sorry.
no, too late now.
Now I've failed your fan base.
You failed our fan base.
Yeah. My goal today is to who's the worst person you've ever had on here, or maybe you can't say them by name.
Worst?
Yeah. How many what the worst cancellation?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Probably me.
Probably Dave.
yeah,
Oh,
probably
okay.
just Dave.
Yeah.
What's how many?
Just
of you
bad jokes.
just a lot.
Okay.
He's gotten. I think probably the most you got is like 4 or 5. Yeah,
something like that.
4,
That's why
5,
we
or
had to
6?
get extras
That's-
that
yeah.
are
Nice.
not branded.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's why we have so many.
I've got a goal now. I mean, besides being on the show and hanging out with
I
you,
was gonna say,
I've
you're
got like
also a business owner.
nothing is going to be said in severity. I hope not. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I hope
that's-
I'm not an
Yeah,
ass.
what's the delay that we have?
Oh, okay,
on the
that's not
feed?
fair. You've gotten 6. I'm not calling you an asshole. That's the vibe I felt.
If
That's
you
the
say
concern.
something in severe, like Dave could have canceled me for the joke I just made.
Yeah.
About the he only has one not bad idea.
I don't know
day.
about that.
He could have.
That
and
would
I
be
could
a
have
light
fought
one. Yeah.
I could have fought it, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It really happens when you say something and then you go, just give me it.
Yeah, you're just like, I shouldn't have said that.
Give me it to me.
You hear the words come out of your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that
And you
wasn't
go,
right.
we're live, and I shouldn't have said that.
And also, I don't edit the audio.
Yeah.
No.
Unless it's real bad.
Yeah.
Well, like only if Logic breaks.
That's fair.
Yeah, we've never had to like stop because of a cancel buck.
Oh, okay.
It's never gotten that far.
Well,
so
so
don't
you
go that
choose
far.
the right people. That makes me happy.
So, well,
I think
we
some
toe the line.
I think some people get maybe a little.
I am so glad I'm here today.
I think some people maybe get a little like they know they're on camera and being recorded, so they start to either not say the normal amount they would say or say more than they normally would.
Oh, okay.
Which we haven't had one of those in a long time.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna fiddle with this mic too.
fiddle.
Yeah.
Everyone, shut up.
Which way? I want to go. No, I want to go higher.
So just crank it.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Wow, this is thrilling radio. This is thrilling podcasting.
This is how the sausage is
I mean,
made.
it's been a while since you've done a radio show.
That's true. Speaking of too, I am fucking excited to be here because Jake used to hover over that beep button, just waiting for me to
Oh,
drop
I didn't even think about
F-bombs.
that.
Yeah, Discovered Denton. Love Discovered Denton. They do not. They are
But
family
it's city
friendly.
funded, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't want to do that.
So
Fuck
there
yeah,
would be
they
a
are.
delay,
Fuck yeah.
right? So when it would air,
Just a little fucking bit. Hey, you know what? If you hit that,
one more time.
and your neighbors. Okay, in all fairness, I said cats. Can you believe that?
Oh, that was so good.
Oh, so I feel
That made me
like
warm.
I'm already.
I didn't know we had that.
What the bleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
don't. I just there's no
We needed it for something.
there's no reason for me to use it. I don't know. It's funny that it mutes out all the mics.
Oh, yeah,
I know
everything.
I know it would, but I would for some reason I'm like thinking to myself it just mutes out one. But when I was doing it, we're laughing. I couldn't hear anything in my ears. I'm like, that's so strange, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, if somebody goes off in a rant, you don't want another mic to pick it up.
I know we're supposed to be talking about other stuff, but let's just play with this toy for a second. I know you'll have fun with this. Ready?
I'm gonna keep.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna keep drinking.
So keep
Wait, no.
drinking.
Preferred. I was gonna drink another
drink.
hop
drink.
and sting.
Do
Is that
it.
okay?
Do
Nobody
it.
wants that one
Yeah.
No.
right now.
All you. So I'm gonna turn on a little setting for us to play with for a second.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
When he does it, don't change the way you're speaking.
Don't change anything at all. Do you
Yeah.
have could you ask him a question whenever I ask it? Whenever I
Okay,
turn
yeah.
it on. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Current favorite beer. What's your current favorite beer?
Current favorite beer. Probably.
That's not right.
Toppling Goliath. Oh, should I? Oh, I'll hold the answer.
What happened?
I hear like a
I
little
could
weird
hear it,
echo
but
in
it
the
didn't quite
background.
go.
Oh, it's broken. That's cool.
Nice.
Software updates.
Yeah, probably a software update. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's oh,
There it is.
oh,
we
it's
go.
only on mine.
Now, yeah, it's only on yours.
Wow.
Oh, no, I can hear it. It's just
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
we
the-
can all
mic.
hear it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it on
sucks.
ours? Is it on mine?
It's supposed to be on everybody's.
Oh.
Supposed to be everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not on.
It should
the other-
even be
try the other one.
It should even be sound effects too, right?
Nice.
It should be on. I don't know why it's doing that. That sucks.
Well,
Sorry.
This is really embarrassing. for me.
technology.
Yeah.
Fucking
You know what? You should be really embarrassed.
Egg
right
on
now.
my face.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
this is what kind of Bush League show did I come on?
So actually, yeah, what's the answer to that? What's your favorite beer recently?
This week, let's see. Toppling Goliath, Dragon Fandango. See, we write up our man. I'm gonna keep hitting this. Sure. I could scoot over.
No, please don't.
can-
Stay. You're in
No,
frame. You're
we're-
in
Wait,
frame.
hold on. I can Jackson this out. I've got a window back here. So we write our favorite beers for each bartender on the
Yeah, I
the
saw
big
that last time I
board,
was there.
right? And it's like the old Blockbuster, like the staff
Oh, yeah,
picks,
yeah.
that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
except your employees love their jobs.
Yeah. And we love the product.
Jim.
I don't know.
Minimum wage sucks.
It can't be Star Wars again.
It's my favorite.
That was good. That was
Please
good.
tell me you had braces at one point.
No.
Oh wow.
No.
That was too close. That was too close.
I just have a wet mouth.
He just made. I was gonna say you made fun of people with braces, but no.
Oh,
That might be too mean.
Did you? Well, no,
I?
as a kid, did you make? Were you a bully?
I was too poor to make fun of people with braces. That's like, look at that asshole driving a Lincoln. It's like, what?
Dave goes by on his bike.
I'm so fucking jealous. People make fun of me for not having braces.
That's mean.
I know.
That's. I'll take the cancel.
Yeah,
back
I don't
back.
think
You're
that's fine.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
I thought Canadians were nicer than that.
No. Do I seem nice all the time?
So favorite
No.
beer.
He seems quite nice most of the time. Yeah.
I love you.
Okay, so we have to, when a keg dies, we got to go back, clean the line, scrub the faucet, put on a new beer, and then we have to erase our favorite beer because it's gone. And Caitlin pulled it and said, "Hey, you got to choose a new beer. You're like 5 beers died on Sunday night." Like, well, damn it. Then she tapped in one of the beers ahead of time for the sour event, and she let me try it yesterday. I was like, "What? Why didn't you let me try that before I wrote my beer up there?" But Toppling Goliath, the Dragon Fandango. It's like passion fruit sour. Oh, it's so good.
Sounds great.
Yeah. I kind of want some now. Sorry I didn't bring it.
It's a good thing that you guys are all so knowledgeable about what you have for sale, because I've looked at the board at the menu, and I've been 6 beers deep,
Yeah.
not
And you're
knowing
like,
which percentage what
hell
the
is
beers
all
were that I've had, and I'm like, I can't even see that anymore.
Montucky.
Makes life easy. There you go.
Even if you do know like a lot of the beers up there, there's still going to be at least a couple where you're like, I don't have any fucking idea what that is. Can you tell me what that is? And
I think the other thing is that when you're
That's the
when
point,
you're
right?
6 beers deep and you're looking at the board and there's all these drawings, you're like, that's so pretty.
I like that
Give
one.
me that unicorn beer. Give
I don't know what this says, but
me the one with pancakes on it.
Bad idea.
yes,
10%. There you go.
that's yummy. That's
And then you can go, no.
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 I got this nice glass of water.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and if you don't want to answer it, feel free to say that, to just move on.
Mm-hmm.
You guys don't allow covers. Beer mug.
Yes. Ooh.
Do you?
I guess, yeah, we openly talk about this.
Okay. Do you want to say? Could you say why you don't allow covers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, one, in supporting artists, I don't think that you're going to do anything more amazing than Kurt Cobain ever did. So don't play Nirvana. Write your own stuff. Put the your story, your voice down on that stage. So at the beginning, when we had a couple of bands play for the first time, ASCAP and BMI and CSAC started
We've talked about all of those things
berating.
on the show before,
Yeah.
too.
Openly and honestly?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that they do a service, right?
Absolutely.
They're there when you get so big. They're there to protect your IP and to get you the money you deserve. Oh God, now I sound like a daytime TV attorney. Have you been in a wreck with Beyonce? But
Are you registered with ASCII?
So they're there to make sure that those artists are paid for something they created. If I wanted, well, I would say if I really wanted some of my favorite bands, if I wanted to hear their songs, I'd hire them. I can't do that. Some of those are way too expensive or dead. But I'd rather hear what's in y'all's heads, right?
Right.
That's what we want to hear from bands.
Yeah,
and
you'd always rather hear, personally, I'd rather always hear new stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, cool. Everybody's done this Led Zeppelin
Right.
song.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
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 It gets a little, it's a little droll.
unless you have a really good take on it, which does happen.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
those are like few and far between.
And
so.
I actually was reminded of that today because I had to use Spotify because Matthew New Year Gets You released a single, so I had to like go look at stuff on Spotify. Normally I use Apple Music, but the last time I used Spotify was on one of our Fun Friday streams. You showed me the Lizzie McAlpine,
Yeah, the Dawes cover.
Dawes cover, and it was like I was reminded of how beautiful that is. And so there's like this interesting thing where, you know, coming up as a musician, I was a metal drummer. I was in kind of like hard.
No.
Yes, it's a big secret about me.
I've seen your feet and your hands move.
So
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And you've seen his hair move many times when he had long hair
yes.
back in the day too.
so there was like a thing where, especially like it still happens now, but especially in like, you know, the 2005 to 2010, it was like, let's make metal covers of pop songs.
Yeah.
There was the
Okay.
pop goes punk thing, right?
Big old switch.
It's super fucking cheesy, and it was also like a hit. People tend to like the whole shtick, right?
My yearly PSA: stop covering No Diggity.
Yeah.
No one else needs to ever cover that again.
So
And Toxic.
Yes, yeah. So there is like an interesting thing where, you know, you do covers in like the local band setting, like in the 45-minute set, you know, kind of thing, and it's like there is a aspect of it trying to bring the audience back in to listen to you because it's something familiar they haven't heard or they have heard, right?
Yeah, they've already got they have an emotional attachment to this song.
Yeah, whether or not they know all the words or maybe they do know all the words, whatever it is, it brings them back into to the set, which is kind of a nice thing. But at the same time, you're also risking, like you guys said, like doing a cover that doesn't need to be done, doing the cover like the wrong way, like whether it just be like, I've heard covers that are like, cool, you're just playing the song, and it's like you said, you're not Nirvana, so why are you just playing the song? It really blows my mind that we're just trying to be this,
And
right?
it's never going to be as good.
Right. And
kinda sad.
And I have to clarify also, I'm talking about like original bands playing a cover, not like a cover band
Not
doing
cover
covers.
bands
Right.
doing a wedding.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
well, and doing like a cover night show where you're like we're playing as David Bowie's band playing Bowie
Yeah.
songs. Like
Yeah.
that's cool. That's
That's
its
a
own
different
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
You
and
can't
I
do it
think,
at Bearded Monk, but it's cool.
I think that's kind of fun to see a band that I follow and see their take on somebody.
Yeah,
That's kind of
Yeah.
fun to go to a theme night like that.
but it's
also
like part of the
challenging
bit
them.
because
Yeah.
it's like this is all you're gonna get probably.
Yeah.
Whereas like the
Yeah.
covers and just a normal set are like you don't have enough songs to fill the time you have.
That's what it is too.
Yeah.
There's so many sides to it, but that's one of the big ones.
That definitely is.
That's why people would want to play covers. At the
Writing songs are hard.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
It is hard, and then also like the other side of it being that like so like I'm eventually this year I'm going to put together a Foo Fighters tribute night. But I like the reason I want to do it is because I want to play Foo Fighters songs, right? It's like sometimes you just want to play that artist's music. You want to play that song live. Playing it in your living room is not enough anymore. Playing it in your bedroom is not enough. You want to perform that song. So if you have the chance to perform that song, it's like I love Phoebe Bridgers. I want to play that song in front of people. I love, you know, it's a release for how much you love playing that song in your living room, in your bedroom, whatever. But it definitely, as a outsider, is like, cool. This is time, in my opinion. Whenever I hear a cover, unless I'm instantly drawn in, I'm like, time to get a drink. Like,
Yeah.
that tends to be my go-to.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
So I've had fun seeing some covers, and I was trying to think of one that stood out, but I don't think I don't know. You'd mentioned like when you'd said Foo Fighters, I was like, okay, seeing Hagen do like a Dave Grohl drum roll would be a lot of fun. Why not? Why not a Tenacious D night?
No thanks.
There you go.
So the last big show I went to, we got to go down to Bomb Factory for Tenacious D, like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And we were at Dot's Hop House.
So good.
East Side Oak Street, Miss Angeline's Dance, Dots, right?
Yeah.
And we were getting dinner, and then we were walking across, and like, man, I wonder, what are they doing? Where are they at? Where's the green room in this place? Like, that'd be fun to go chill with, especially Kyle. I'm sorry, Jack Black's fun, but Kyle, that's where the money's at.
But
that's the guy you want to hang out with.
That was the night also where they went into 3 Links, right?
Yeah. And they went over for a D cover band.
Yeah.
So they wandered in and then stepped in on a cover band set.
So great.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
thought that
great.
was cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, it makes sense for so many reasons why a venue and a space like yours especially wouldn't be number one, right? That makes a lot of sense. It's something that I think a lot of people kind of battle with in any situation of like, should I play a cover? Should I not play a cover? And then to have a venue be like, no covers, it's like, whoa, this is not something I'm used to.
You're on your game now. You got to bring you. You have to be there.
Yeah.
Have you had bands say, "Oh, sorry, okay, then we can't play"?
Yeah. And I try to make that, if they haven't been there, I try to say that up front. Like, hey,
Right.
no covers in the space. No, I've had a couple of bands back out because of that. It's like, that's cool, man. That's fine.
If you're in a band and listening to this and you want to try to play the monk and you have covers because you don't have enough material, follow back with the question, do you mind if we play the same song multiple times throughout the set? As long as people don't notice.
Yeah. Mix it up.
Yeah.
Open and close with the same song.
Yep. We've done that many times.
We did that this weekend.
We did that this past
Nice.
weekend.
Pump up that crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what it was for this weekend, but
Yeah. Well,
it was funny.
Well, I guess it's important to note you're not saying no covers because you're an asshole or anything. It's just you have financial and legal reasons to not want to do that.
Well, yeah.
I feel like we kind of glossed over
I
that.
am
but-
kind of an asshole too. Like, I want bands that are passionate, not just about singing and performing, but about telling their story. So that's number one. Number two is I just don't want to pay the mob.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
And
that makes
totally
a lot of
fair.
sense.
Yeah.
But it's nice to walk into the monk and hear your own band's music when you're not expecting it, or like your friend's band's music.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you walk in, you guys are playing that stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of fun for me.
So you get to control
Having
the music.
full control. Yeah. Like, what do I want to listen to today? Yeah.
That's good. I like that. I remember one time I came in to have a meeting with you, and I was like, "There's a new Foo Fighters song," and you were like, "Cool, just put it on."
It's pretty good power to have.
yeah. It was when Run came out.
Oh,
nice.
Damn.
For some reason, that's a core memory. I don't know why.
Because that's a great song.
But like, I was like on repeat driving to the Monk, like, Run is great. Run came out. We're listening to Run. I'm like, oh my god.
That was just you the entire day.
Yeah, that
Everybody
was.
you saw, you're like, you need to play this song right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. That's exactly right.
That's why you drive around with a megaphone, by the way. Yes.
That's why I drive around
Just-
with.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys can hear that, right? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
You're what?
Ah, shit.
Yeah. I just
That was
thought
the
he was just pushing a button.
Yeah.
Well, I was worried that was happening since you guys couldn't, since the voice thing
That's a
isn't
good point.
working. Yeah,
That's a good point.
And then since there's that one time that the audio was totally bugged out, and then all the audio, like the only people in the live stream, they could just hear me go.
And he's
And we had,
staring at
like-
everyone like,
What? We had like the computer mic and nobody in the audience.
Yeah,
mentioned
it used my fucking iMac microphone instead of all of this, and so we're just like talking, and I'm just like.
Or it'd be worse if the laughter was playing and we're all just kind of sitting there in silence.
That'd be really good.
Also, as a reminder, most canned laughter on television shows, the people that recorded that stuff that they still use are all long gone.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it's all decades old.
They got the best recordings.
There was like a
no,
crew.
I don't know if
no
it's the
one's
best. I
outdone
think
it.
the studios are cheap.
The studios are cheap, but there was a particular group of people that were a really good audience for recording.
Really?
Yeah, and
Like a specific show or specific people
specific
that would go
people
into a
that would-
sound studio.
Yeah, and they recorded a
laugh.
bunch of canned laughter, and all the
Yeah.
studios shared it around.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just want to carry that around on my phone. Awesome.
So if there was one piece of advice, you kind of already asked this, Dave, but I'm gonna just ask it again. There's one piece of advice you could give to bands who are trying to book. What's the one piece of advice you'd give? Just to reiterate that.
You know, it's not my advice. Jake Laughlin wrote a really cool book, and just supporting him, I bought it. I heard him make some mentions of it in our discussions, but it's called Get the Gig, and it was from a booker's perspective. Here's what you want to do to engage and get those shows. Here's how you need to follow up, do your research on your venues, all that stuff. And the one that hit me was start with those venues that you actually care and know intimately.
Yeah.
That I think that's number one. It applies to everything. You know, we've spoken at UNT events to like different schools, and one of them was when you're going out to get a job. Like, what do you do? Well, start with where you are first. What do you want to do? Like, what's your field, and where do you hang out? And it's one that, like in Denton Downtowners, I see it all the time. Somebody just says, "Hey, I've got this much experience in this industry. Who's hiring?" And you see it, especially with bartenders and servers, right?
Right.
That's our big industry in Denton. And the first comment there is like, "Well, where do you hang out?" If you're at Chili's every night, no one at Hannah's really wants to hire you.
Right.
If you're hanging out at Toyota Music Factory as a musician, that's going to be a real hard climb. Where else are you hanging out?
Yeah.
So know and intimately know and be involved with venues. That's the greatest thing you can do.
Yeah.
That's great. That's amazing.
Well, I hope that helps.
It
But
helps-
that
it
that,
helps a
that
little
to
bit.
me is, I can tell that you've probably already thought that way, and maybe that reading that has put some things into perspective for you, because as long as I've known you, you've always had great community outreach and gotten involved with events that are happening around Denton and supported people that not necessarily have anything to do with your business, but you're on the Bearded Monk page saying like, everyone go check this out. This is what I did with my kids today in the Denton downtown area.
Right, just something that's like, this is
Yeah.
cool, and these people are genuine.
Yeah,
like,
genuine, I
share
think,
it.
is the
Yeah.
word, right?
Right.
A genuine care for, or not. I said it. You did good job. I was just going to
But
reiterate
nobody-
what you said, but genuine. That is
I
the
got it,
key
yeah.
word.
But you don't have to do that. And a lot of businesses don't do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of those businesses don't stay around.
Well, and they may not be doing it openly too.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, should we talk about what we're listening to?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'll go first. So on Friday, I went with Jackson to see 100 Gecs at Southside Ballroom, and it was awesome. It was so much fun. And so I've been listening. So first of all, he said he might have had like a free ticket last week. So I was like, I'm going to listen to this just to kind of prep myself in case I can go. I wasn't sure about the free ticket later. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go anyway because I'm going to listen to this album and it's fucking great. So I went and saw them. It was fucking great. I've been listening to them nonstop. It is amazing. We're doing Hyperpop next week.
So it's not just Jackson who's into this now.
Yeah, it's really funny though. He did text one of our friends because I had an extra ticket because I got 2 tickets and my wife ended up not wanting to go last minute, and so we were texting people and one of the people he texted was like, he said have fun with all the TikTokers. It's like all like Gen Z whatever. And Jackson responded, "Okay, boomer." But it was like a really wide variety of people who were at this show. It was pure fun. It was just people dancing, having a great time, screaming the songs back with them. The 2 people in the band are like total memesters. I'll show you like the album cover later, but the guy in the band has 8th notes tattooed on his chest.
Ridiculous.
And
Wow.
when we saw it, we
That's
were like,
dedication. That's not
It's
ridiculous.
massive, though.
it looks ridiculous. We were like, we were like, that has to be a drawing.
I hope that's fake.
It's like the kind of thing where they went into the tattoo shop and the guy's like, "You sure?"
Yeah.
and then Jackson told us it was real, and he comes out like the lead guy comes out for the whole show, and for the first part of the show, he's wearing like this giant wizard's robe that has like other music notation written all over it. I'm wearing a 100 Gecs shirt. I'll show you the back of it later. It has that stuff on it. He's wearing a huge wizard's hat. The weird thing is about the show was it is a bunch of like Gen Z, right? So the first thing is
What's wrong with that?
nothing.
Okay.
But there is like a different style. There's a different side of retro, right? So did you look it up?
Mm-hmm. Right now.
Okay, so Nintendo DS. You guys remember the Nintendo DS, right?
That's retro?
Did that come out long enough?
They were taking all their pictures with the Nintendo DS.
That's unfortunate.
So they're pulling out their DS to like take selfies and to take pictures.
They have iPhone 14s in their pockets,
and
but they're choosing to
But
use a
they
Nintendo.
want to use
that's
this
really
3
unfortunate.
megapixel
there's
camera.
we saw at least 4 or 5 in the crowd that were taking pictures with their DS. And then now Adam, you're not on TikTok, right?
No,
So
still not.
so okay, so there's
Dylan Brady? Is that the guy with the
yes.
and Laura
Yeah.
Less?
Yes. So they on TikTok, for some reason I've never understood why this is, but like they'll have like a Family Guy clip or a clip of something, and underneath is like one of those running games, like one of like like Temple Run kind of shit, right?
Sure.
It's to keep you entertained while you're watching something.
Yeah. So there's people in the crowd in between bands who one person has their phone up with Family Guy playing, and then another person on their phone underneath has the Temple Run shit
that's
underneath.
pretty good.
And it wasn't just once; it was like multiple times. And then there was somebody who actually was watching Family Guy.
I'm going to go to this show and catch a really great rerun of Family Guy.
It was truly like Jackson put it so well. The vibes were immaculate. It was a very special kind of night. So
immaculate doesn't seem like the word to me. I would think immaculate is there would be enough going on stage that you paid to be there to keep you entertained.
Oh no! There was this in between bands. In between bands was the Family Guy stuff.
Oh, so not during the band.
Not during the band. During the band, it was
okay.
like pure dance and
I
party and
expected-
sweat. It was
Yeah, okay,
it was
that-
one of those nights.
yeah.
It was one of those nights where you walked away and you were like, I'm not sure if this is my sweat. Yeah.
Party.
So I've been listening to 100 Gecs all
Yes.
week. Their new album 10,000 Gecs. It's fucking great. If you're at all interested in the hyperpop world, go check it out.
Okay.
I just want to bring up again Phantom Planet's Devastator from 2020. I keep forgetting the name of the band and the album, and I'll think about it and go like, I don't know how to find this, and then something will jog my memory. So it's either I'll
Those
sing
neurons
into
will click
yeah,
back
like
in
I'll
place.
sing a melody into Google that gets stuck in my head or something, and I found them again. So I've been really enjoying
what
it.
was the album from 2020?
Devastator. The band is Phantom Planet.
All right. Man, see, I always learned so much cool shit.
That's what we're here to
Around
do.
y'all.
Yeah.
Album.
This week I've been listening to Olivia Jean's new album, Raving Ghost, on Third Man Records. People may know her as Jack White's new wife.
Oh.
Nepotism.
I hesitate to say
We already
that.
did an episode about it, man.
I would say I hesitate to say that,
Nepo bands.
but this album does have Jack White's fingerprints like all over it. On the credits, he's not in there at all, which feels like bullshit. It's a great album, though.
Maybe this is a joke, but maybe it's her going like, "Hey, can you make your guitar sound like Jack's?"
I would love that. That's so funny.
But
It's the
it's
last thing you
a-
want to hear.
Exactly.
It's definitely an album if you like Jack White's last like 2 solo albums.
I'll check
Just
it
go
out.
check it out.
And what was the name of the album again?
Raving Ghost.
Right on.
Yeah.
Man, y'all are cool.
Ben, what you listening to?
So having Spotify at my fingertips and it running for 20 hours a day.
Kind of ruins your recommendations.
Yeah. I just kind of pick and choose whatever I want. I started yesterday with Isaac Hayes' "Walk On By" because man, that is a great song to become functional to. Like, no, I was gonna say to wake up to, but I was opening bar at noon. So it's, like if I'm just now getting this
You're a
functional,
bar owner.
I mean, that's how it goes.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
wake up.
I'm a bar owner with kids, so
We're
I'm up at
musicians.
6 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then part of the magic of the music I actually get to interact with is when the bar is closed and I'm alone. I got to mop, I got to sweep, I got to keep my head going so I don't just sit and do nothing. Because you can real easily stay at that bar till 5 a.m. and go, man, I really don't want to mop right now. So you got to keep some music going. And in the past, it's been like Locomotive Breath from Jethro Tull.
Nice.
Right.
That's one of those that it can keep my hands moving. Ba-dum-dum-dum-dum. But last night, I don't know why, hair up my ass, I turned on the last of the Mohican soundtrack and just let it play.
Is that hair up my ass? You said?
Yeah.
Is that a turn of phrase?
I don't know. A wild hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it got you going.
Yeah, got me going. And
good.
with no foreseeable reason
Right.
or no discernible reason. Yeah.
There's
So
a bunny up my ass.
A bunny at my
time to
ass.
mop.
I like that. Yeah.
I don't like
Can
that.
we make that one?
Yeah,
now?
there's something.
I'm gonna
Problematic
give you.
with
I'm gonna
that.
give you both the cancel button
Yeah.
for saying it and for liking it.
Oh, thank you.
That's teamwork, baby.
Halfway there. But yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
That song. Have y'all ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah? No?
No.
It's epic. Absolutely epic. Yeah. Just a couple of dudes beating the shit out of a bunch of, well, I guess they're beating the shit out of a bunch of British and French, depending on
Yeah.
who gets in their way.
Yeah.
Jackson's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna watch that movie.
Yeah. But that
Fucking French people.
there's some of the fights that the opening that oh, it's great.
You
Yeah.
did listen to that.
Oh yeah.
my god.
You're just
I listened to that
aggressively
all the
mopping.
way through.
Not a bit.
That place got fucking clean.
That's great.
Yes. I may have thrown some brooms like hatchets and stuff, but it's clean now, and that's what counts.
People just walking by and seeing you through the window are like,
You know, sometimes I forget about that.
Of course
Those-
you do. You're
those
so
big old
comfortable in there.
windows. Yeah, it's my other home, right? Yeah, those big old windows.
Yeah.
I'm in there dancing and singing to a
somebody
to a
going to their
broom
night
or-
shift at the post office and they're
You've now
fucking
seen
guy.
you've now seen my
I'm
house.
digging that guy. I want to go in there.
You've seen my big window in my house, and so like during like peak of the pandemic, like we have a VR, we have an Oculus, and so like I'm in my living, I'm playing like Star Wars, like by myself, living room clear, just like swinging wildly, and I just imagine people driving by like, what the fuck is happening?
That's not. That's
something
not. That's
wrong
not
with
a
that
video
really
game,
got
though.
to
That's
him.
just him imagining Star Wars.
No,
Yeah.
it's turned off.
Yeah.
Batteries are
yeah,
dead.
yeah. No, the batteries died hours
It makes
ago.
it look a little more sane.
And you just hear it going pew pew pew.
If I'm playing Star Wars, I have a lightsaber. What's a lightsaber sound like?
No, unless you're being
God damn it!
Wow, you have never seen Star Wars.
I've seen Star
No,
Wars. I just
something's
don't-
fucked up
He's
with him.
seen one of them 45 times.
Yeah.
I've seen Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, one Star Wars.
Well, awesome. Let's get us out of here. Ben, what do you have to promote? What's coming up at the Monk? Tell us all about it.
Okay, next big thing. This weekend is the return of Funk at the Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so funky farmhouse sour beers.
What's the date?
The 13th?
13th.
Yeah, Saturday the 13th, starting at 6 o'clock, and then DJ Spinmo is playing funk all night long.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's going on the 13th, and then Matthew and the Arrogant Sea playing on the 20th. I don't know if you knew that, but they're pretty cool guys.
I had a guess. I had a hunch that I would
Might
be
have
doing
heard
that.
about it.
Yeah, a little something about that.
I have a gig that night.
Oh, I hope you have the right shit in your calendar. Damn, I'm going to be in Austin.
And where can people find the Bearded Monk on social media? What should they just look up the Bearded Monk?
Yeah, Bearded Monk Store on Facebook, Bearded Monk on Instagram, Bearded Monk on TikTok. Also, go enjoy all the videos.
You got a nice website?
Yeah, beardedmonk.com. It's a website.
Yeah. I like
It is.
websites.
Okay, it's there. It's there for you. It has no information. Well, no,
It
that's
has
not-
some. No, it has
yeah,
some.
it's got
Yeah.
like the draft list.
Yeah.
It has the
It has an outdated
the
list
staff.
of employees.
yeah. One moved away, and the other. Oh shit! Yeah, both of them.
Bofa?
Of Oh wait, no, just
No,
on
I
that
think just
list.
one,
Only Sanford moved away.
I'll take it. Give me that. Cool. Well,
There you go.
I'm going to promote my band, Matthew and the Arrogant Sea, like you just mentioned, released a single, Mattis.
Who?
Matthew, it's me, Blake.
Are you
Tony.
Matthew?
No, he's the Arrogant Sea.
I'm part of the Arrogant Sea. We released a single today called Webs. So go on your streaming service and look up the song Webs by Matthew and the Arrogant Sea. Give it a listen. We recorded this song like basically like while we were recording our next album. So this is kind of like, this isn't on the album, but this is like, it's part of that whole experience. So it's a really fun thing. And then the Bearded Monk show on May 20th, Matthew and the Arrogant Sea will be at the Bearded Monk. So
Wait, I got to interrupt you before you go on to a those shirts.
that's
Are
true.
those going to be available for sale at the show, or do we have to order them?
So we have Matthew and the Arrogant Sea is doing a run with a Band-Aid, which is Norman Roscoe's like thing where basically like a band can work with them and put up a shirt design. People can order it, and if enough are made, then so on, right? So if you want to get that shirt, you can go find it on the Matthew and the Arrogant Sea socials, but that shirt is limited, so you have to order it.
Got to get on it. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to get it from a Band-Aid, Matthew and the Arrogant Sea, and I'm sure Adam will put the link in the show notes. So
If it works this week.
yeah, let me know.
Some of you may not have found links last week.
Yeah.
It's because we found out that wasn't working when I was in the airport. So
It's good. It's good.
it worked out.
Oh, how was your trip?
It was pretty good.
Wait,
I lost my voice. I was in New Orleans.
You lost your voice?
Yeah, just talking loud.
Oh, just talking
People.
loud.
We were at a wedding and there was a live band and it was loud. I didn't know there was going to be
sorry.
a live band, so I didn't have earplugs. It wasn't great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
But it was a fun time.
Good. Good.
Right on.
I went the week after they were there just so I didn't have to see them. So.
You don't want to slum it with them. Come on. Yeah.
Well, anybody got anything else before I take us out of here?
Thanks, man.
Oof.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Fuck you all. This was miserable.
Awesome.
All right.
Fuck
Oh,
you,
God
Ben.
damn it.
You don't get canceled after that.
Yay.
I mean, you sound like Jackson.
Just every week after we're done.
Well, awesome.
Why did I drive here?
I miss you, Jackson.
He's not even watching. So.
He might be. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it so much. If you haven't already, please like or follow or like and subscribe on YouTube. Please follow or subscribe whatever podcast app you are using. That helps us a lot on YouTube. Like and subscribe the video. If you are on social media, you can find us DFTA Podcast on Instagram, Don't Feed the Artist on TikTok. Leave us a comment, DM us, say hi, what's up? If you want to send us any topic ideas, tell us what you're listening to. You want to come hang out at the Bearded Monk, email us at bensucks at the Bearded Monk.
Oh, shit. No, I'm going to go get this email.
At don'tbetheartist.com. Email us, bensucks at don'tbetheartist.com. I reiterate again, you can put anything you want to as the email, and we will receive it as long as it's at don'tbetheartist.com.
Yeah, and if you run a legitimate business, don't do that.
Yeah.
We get lots of spam.
Lots. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you so much, and
Fuck off! Give me a towel!
bye.